What up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about why we all secretly like to suffer, all right? And how to break free into peace and success. And it might sound a little weird, like that makes no sense, but I'm going to get into that, all right? So this is why you should listen. I've coached dozens of people which had real transformation, getting them peace of mind, getting them clear on their goals, on their desires, and becoming the best version of themselves. Studied for years on David Hawkins, Joe Dispenza, and etc. And I love this work. This is my lifelong mission. I really feel like doing this, getting people closer to God and their desires, becoming their best self, is what I'm here to do. And this is what you'll learn in today's video. Why the ego secretly loves suffering, how negative programs were formed, the ego's tricks to keep you stuck, and how to break free, plus to reprogram your mind. Also your subconscious, if you are, in tune with that. But yeah, this is me going over the same thing again because I can't type stuff. Anyway, why do we secretly like suffering? You might be wondering why we would secretly like sadness, anger, or despair. It's not you, it's this ego inside of you that's comfortable in pain, all right? I forget if I go over this later, but this ego is not that like prideful ego. This ego, think of it as like the version of you that you've been living with your whole life, all right? The kid you, the one that's with all those old programs, old beliefs, and like negative feelings. They're trying to keep you safe, all right? So keep it like that. Think of it as like a little teddy bear. How negative programs formed. Realize these programs come from childhood cues. Parents, cultures, teachers, friends, family. And so there's an example. Money doesn't grow on trees. That's a belief, all right? Think of that. That's a belief that we were told when you were young. Your subconscious seed is planted, all right? Now, those beliefs, your subconscious is programmed by beliefs, feelings, and energy, or, pictures. That's what I meant to say. Think of your subconscious as a garden, and whatever you allow planted will grow whether the belief serves you or not. It doesn't matter if you believe that the world is corrupt or the world is beautiful. Whichever one you plant in your subconscious is the only thing you'll see. So this is why the subconscious is the most important thing in this mind, all right? In this mind. And that's why you need to be careful what beliefs you believe. And if you do catch those negative beliefs, you got to be quick to get them out. So we don't actually want to suffer, but suffering feels safe. It's what we're used to. The ego clings to the victim identity because it's familiar. In Hawkins' map of consciousness, the ego resides in the lower levels: fear, shame, guilt, anger, leaving those feelings threatening, all right? So whenever we try stepping into courage, peace, acceptance, or anything, and you get those negative thoughts of like, oh my goodness, anger, desire, worry, fear, that's from the ego. That's the ego trying to get you back into those old states because that's where it feels most comfortable. It's like, if I'm not worrying, if I'm not trying to control or predict anything, then how am I going to live? And that's ultimately how you beat this thing. You got to be good in the unknown. It's a little spoiler for later. But the map of consciousness, I'm going to show you. And boom. Maybe, hopefully you can see this. But as you can see, all below here are the quote-unquote negative beliefs, and all above here are the more positive beliefs. All right, we'll just go with that for today. And that was really fast. If you wanted to pause that, go ahead. But just get an idea of what those things are. Even pride. And I know when I say desires, I'll get to why a desire is a bad, quote-unquote, negative feeling to have. All right, now, the ego's tricks. Oh, wait, sorry. I forgot this quote. Pretty important. As Hawkins says, the ego would rather be right than be free. Even if you know deep down that forgiving someone is the best thing to do, the ego would somewhat just trick you to believing revenge is the greatest option, even though you know that it's wrong. So that's how it works, all right? Now, the ego equals identity, and that teddy bear that's trying to control, predict, and survive. It uses the past, your past experiences, and projects fear into the future. So let's say, for instance, you got cheated on. You automatically assume your next girlfriends or boyfriends are going to cheat on you. So it's kind of like this. So the ego just uses all those past experiences to try to predict what may happen in the future. Get that straight, period, point blank, understood? And you'll be able to realize those secret patterns that automatically happen when you start to overthink, when you start to stress, when you start to assume the worst. The ego is just going back to what it's used to feeling and what its old experience has led up to. So if you are getting into relationships and you automatically assume your partner is cheating or you have those overthinking thoughts of like what they could be doing or if they're staying faithful, understand the ego's trying to use those negative things that happened to you in the past to try to predict what happened in the future. And you don't realize it, but the more you put your focus on that, they might be cheating, that, this, that, and this, you bring that more towards your life. You bring that in, and eventually you get cheated on again, which then reinforces that already negative belief. So you got to be careful, all right? Try to get in there with the open mind and be present, which we'll get to down there. Now, another example. Making money online is hard. You expect failure and act less. It's a cycle, all right? I'm going to get to that cycle, I think, next section. But there is ego consciousness and God consciousness. The ego likes to live in its own limited perspective of life. Remember, Hawkins said, it's a quote, the ego would rather be right than, the ego would rather be wrong. Sorry, I couldn't read it. The ego would rather be right than be free. But yeah, I also have other videos going much, much deeper into the ego and how to actually dive deep into those negative programs that's been stemming from your past experiences. But for now, it's just much more important for you to realize the overview of it, all right? Any negative feeling or thought that the ego throws at you isn't real. All that matters is what God has promised. So you have to constantly remind yourself when you get into your head and start overthinking or assuming failure, it's from the ego. Any negative feeling, any negative thought is from the ego. It's never from God. And other, Christians, you could say, they believe that the ego is the enemy. Whichever one suits you does not matter. Believe that's the enemy, believe that's the ego, whatever you want to believe, all right? Just as long as you understand that there's two different things inside of you. There's God and there's the ego. And you might be asking, then what am I? It gets kind of complicated, all right? Just understand that you are aware of the ego, so that means you're not the ego. You are part of God, all right? Think of it like that, all right? Be present and show up unlimited. Ego fabricates, this is what Hawkins says, ego fabricates futures full of worry and fear, and it's not real in the present. Right now, if you were to sit down and breathe, you can't see or feel fear. Well, technically you can, because then your mind will make it up. But like right now, everything is perfect. Get out your head for a second and just look around. Everything is perfect. Of course, if you're in a burning building, I recommend you get out of there. But, when you're out of that building, you'll probably be enjoying life a little bit more, right? But understand that all that fear, all that worry, all those doubts are made up inside of your head. If you can stay present and enjoy what's around you, then everything will be full of love and peace and joy and perfection again, all right? The more you can put your focus on that, the less worse things you will see, the less bad things you will see, promise you. Breaking free / reprogramming. All right, this is the juicy bit. For number 1, get clarity. Who do you need to be? Your traits, your mindset, and the state of mind you're in. All right, remember that state of consciousness that I showed you guys. It's important. If you need help, feel free to ask me for help. I'm offering free calls to those who do, because you'll need this for the rest of the video. If you have a good idea of who you need to be, if you have your desires already set down, then of course, keep it going, keep watching this video. But if you need help, or you just need to polish and refine this, feel free to hit me up. Like I said, I've helped dozens of people already before, and I'll be glad to help you on the other side of this screen. Just hit me up on Instagram, and we'll get that thing going. Now, it should be number 2, I don't know. Anyway, let's just fix that real quick. I fixed it. Letting go process. This is from Hawkins. Awareness goes into acceptance. Acceptance equals allowing that old negative feeling to be, surrender it to God, and step away into your new story. Now, that might have been super complicated. What the hell am I talking about? When I say letting go process, you got to become aware of those negative beliefs, those negative feelings, so negative thoughts, all right? Once you become aware of those things, accept the fact that your ego is that, all right? Accept it. Be like, all right, well, that's my ego. It's all good. That's my old programs, that's my old experience. It's okay. I forgive myself for feeling that way, and I accept it is what it is. Now, those feelings are still going to go through you. You're still going to feel that fear. You might still feel that worry, that anger, whatever it is. You got to allow those things to be. That's the most important part. Don't fight those things. Don't say, hey, that's not me anymore, and start giving it all the energy and start fighting it, because that will just make it more real. And then as you're allowing these things to flow, just simply say to yourself, I surrender these negative feelings to you, God, and then you continue to step into your new story where all the opposite emotions you're feeling right now, you'll believe you feel at the moment, right? It's like stepping from fear to faith. It's like stepping from hatred to love. All right, you gotta do your best to do that. And again, it will be hard because you've been programmed like this way for however long you've been living. But the more and more you involve yourself in this sort of teachings, the more and more you involve yourself with God, the easier and easier it will get. So I highly emphasize what I'm about to say, meditation, and just prayer. All right, prayer is very, very important. Number 3, meditation and visioning. Visioning. Anyway, read your vision, who you are, and then breathe and then embody your truest self. All right, and this is something that's not only said by Hawkins, it's said by many other people. What is held in the mind tends to manifest. All right, and this is also super important. Consistency over intensity. Consistency over length. Don't worry about going in meditation and go straight up to an hour for your sessions. Do 10 minutes in the morning and at night. Do 5 minutes in the morning and at night. Doesn't matter where you start, it just matters where you get to, okay? Start with 10, maybe 2 weeks later, go to 20, 2 weeks later, 30, all right? And then just play with it. See what you can learn, see what you can do. If you need help meditating, there are millions of videos online how to meditate. If you really just need a visual representation, watch this. Sit straight up, feet flat on the floor, close your eyes, get a blindfold on, and step into your future self, your truest self. Also, I didn't mention this, but the reason why I say truest self is because the version you're always destined to be by God is inside of you. You just got to reveal that person. So your desired self then becomes your truest self. You don't desire that thing, you just know it's within you. Which, hopefully I say that soon. Actually, I don't think I do. I'm going to say it right now. The reason why we don't want to say we desire something is because it comes from a place of lack. All those multimillionaires who desire money, they have all the money they need, yet they don't feel complete enough. They don't feel secure enough yet. And so they continue chasing money, but no matter how much money they get, they still lack it because inside they still secretly desire it and is searching for something much more. Desire is lack. If you believe you have the things you want right now, then no matter what, if your money goes down or up, or no matter if your views go down or up, no matter what you're doing goes down or up, you'll always maintain a stable foundation with God and allowing yourself to feel secure, feel complete, feel just overall like a great person. And that's going to be your foundation. So no matter what you see externally, you'll always have what you need within. And that's something that can't be taken away from you. So, and you might have already got tested by that before. The things you did desire, you might have got it and then lost it and then flew and went get in a transit, Went in a tranny. Whoa! You get the idea. Anyway, the more seeds you plant into your subconscious of the life you want to live, the easier it is to change your life. With the letting go process, you're constantly clearing out those old weeds that the ego planted, all right? Again, those old programs, the ego, all of that has been planting in your subconscious what it wants. It's been doing whatever the hell it wants in that garden. It might be the most disgusting, withered down garden you see right now. But understand, the more and more you're able to let go of these old programs and start placing in new ones and start building your own new ones, it's like build your garden in Roblox. Look, I don't play it. My sisters do, so, that's why I knew that. If you know what I'm talking about. If you're one of my older audiences, just act like they never happened. Anyway, again, it's your garden, all right? Plant the beliefs you want to plant. Your subconscious will reflect what's inside. The world will reflect what's inside of you. And also one very, very important thing. When you see the things you have right now, and it's not where you want to be, it's not what you desire. I know I said don't desire, but it's not what you want in the first part. All right, dang, I can't talk. And it's not what you believe you have inside. There you go. Acceptance is key. You have to accept the fact that the old you made this a reality. Whatever it is that you don't desire, it's here because you believe that's all you're capable of. So believe you're capable of more. Believe you're capable of achieving whatever it is you desire, whatever your dreams are, whatever you're destined here to be, and you will do that, all right? Now, this cycle is probably worth millions and millions of dollars. And why I say that is because it truly can change lives. It's honestly limitless. Beliefs, all right, in your subconscious. Your beliefs, it drives behaviors, all right, behaviors, reactions, etc. Your behaviors / reactions drive actions, okay? Those actions produce results, and those results reinforces those beliefs. So if you believe that you're not capable of getting money, and you start behaving like that, and you start acting like that, and you start producing results like that, well, best believe that belief is really very well submitted into your subconscious, believing that you can't do it. But you gotta go delusional. Believe you can do whatever you say you can do. Believe what you want to believe, and continue to take action from that person. And you will produce results that will then reflect who you are truly inside of yourself. I hope this helped, guys. Another important thing, assume success. Most people assume failure, and that's the ego program. Flip it. Act like if the success is already real. Remember, don't worry about what you see. It's all about within, whatever is important within you. Don't cling on to timing. Divine timing unfolds when you let go. 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 Conclusion. Ego. The ego thrives in old programs plus suffering. Freedom equals awareness, letting go, meditation, faith. God has already placed peace and success within you. The only thing standing in the way is the ego. All right? This is also pretty cool if you want to join. How can you further improve your journey? Join my free community. I'll have weekly calls and bonus exclusive videos, most likely, inside of there. And DM me on Instagram for one-on-one help. I do offer one-on-one services. That is paid, obviously, because it's one-on-one. And yeah, I'm obviously here to help. I'm learning new things every single day. I'm experiencing new things every single day. And I'm growing every single day because I am a coach and I am ready to change millions of lives. That's how, if you can speak in that sort of conviction as well, I promise you can change your life. But all my videos, or everything I know, is pretty much in my YouTube. So go ahead and binge watch it. Go ahead and watch the newest and latest videos. God bless. And yeah, hope you guys got a good lesson out of this. You might be wondering though, like how do we still secretly, I kind of like saw this at the end, why do we still secretly like to suffer? Again, your ego likes to stay safe. It doesn't like to feel that hope. It doesn't like to feel that freedom, that peace, because it doesn't know, it can't control anything. It's truly just let go. And so that's why the letting go process is completely letting go of what you can control, of trying to predict and trying to survive. Okay? Staying comfortable, pretty much. So I think that's the main thing. All right. God bless y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.